All right. Good day, everybody listening. Mr. Kemineko here. So in this one, I just want to show you guys exactly how you are to edit our work. We've made some slight improvements in the way we want you to deliver our work. So I believe after watching this video, you will have an idea of exactly what it means you want to edit any work we send to you, because this is exactly the way we want it. So you just have to follow it. It doesn't really matter whether or not you have experience in or you've done editing work before. What is happening here is that you need to follow our guidelines and do it exactly as we show you, because this is just what we want. This is how we want it. So sometimes we may make some improvements, but whatever improvements is being made, I will always try as much as possible to do a video that would explain basically the way I want it, the way we want it, the way we need it. Now you would always get two files in your email. Two files. This is the original work, for example. Then you have the rewritten work, the same topic, but this one comes with the headline or with the keyword rewritten. So you get the two files in your mail, you download two of them, then you will compare the written work and the other one here, the original file here, so that you can properly guide it. So this is what you do. You open it after downloading them. I've already downloaded them to my system, so I just open it. This is the original. This is the written work, and then this is the original file. Now just restore down this one, and then you also use the written work. You also restore down. Now what I like doing is I take it to my screen like this, then I extend it to cover the screen. I extend it also to cover the screen. That is a fast way to do it, so that you can see both screens. You can see both screens, and then you can be guided properly. So you are now ready to start editing. Okay, you are now ready to start the editing work. Now you don't really necessarily have to bother yourself much about the original file, except when you get to the rewritten work and you discover some grammar which doesn't really make sense. You can now decide to change it. Okay, if you see some issues that doesn't really make much of a sense, you can now decide to make some changes, using the original file as your guide. The original file here is just to guide you, while the rewritten work already has been rewritten. The only thing is you need to just edit it, and I will show you basically the things that you need to do. Now one of the very cardinal things you need to take care of, you need to understand, is that we want you to first of all proofread the written work we send to you. You have to proofread it, look at it again, go through it from the beginning to the end. You need to scan through it, just scan through it, take note of the headlines that came with the work, although you will still insert your own headlines as part of your editing job. But first of all, take cognizance of the headlines which came with the work, so that you can have an idea. Now the very first place to start is with the topic. For example, in this guide, it is step-by-step instructions to begin flour business in Nigeria. Okay, so this is the topic. Now you just scroll down, you see another headline here, inquiries to be made. You see another one here, the most effective method to start a flour production campaign step by step. These are all sub-headlines, sub-headings in the work. Now after scanning through it, just skim, okay, the first thing there should be, you skim the work. It's the skimming process. I've skimmed the work, you have taken cognizance of the headlines and the subheadings. Then you look at number 2, you proofread it. Proofreading is the next thing. Now this is where you start the work proper. Now this is what you have to do. First of all, you can discover that the work that has been written for you to edit do come with a lot of spaces sometimes, so you have to remove these spaces. But that doesn't mean you have to put jam all the paragraphs together. What I'm saying is, where the spaces are like this, just remove them, remove the spaces because they are too wide. So first of all, you remove the spaces. If there are long, large, big spaces in the work, remove them. It's not necessary. I won't go on. It's just a simple won't remove for all. At least I've given you an idea of what I want. Just remove the spaces as I've done. Now secondly, you look at the sentence structure. You can discover that the sentences most times are very long. This is a case in point. This is a very long sentence and it's boring. It's boring for the reader. So you need to find a way to shorten this sentence without cutting out any part of the written work. Take cognizance of the fact that as you are editing the work, you will also be checking for grammatical errors. That is your work as an editor. You look for the grammatical errors where you have grammatical mistakes. You try to remove them where you cannot really understand what those are, whether or not they are mistakes. That's where you come to the original file to check that line against what you have it, so that you would be properly guided. You don't really need to use much of your head knowledge, but then you need to also know what to do. Sometimes you may come over here, you see a line that is exact. You don't have to repeat that same line here. Instead, you need to find some words to add to tweak that particular line so that it doesn't necessarily be the same thing that was here, and also does not mean nonsense in the written work. So that is, you need to understand how to fix those things. Now let me just do an example. You say Nigeria is one of the biggest producers of flour in sub-Saharan Africa. More than, this is okay, this line is okay, it's short enough, you leave it. And you say more than 300,000 tons are produced per annum. It's okay, it's short enough. Now what I mean here is that the lines, the sentences should not be more than, let's say highest should be let's say 6 to 10 or 13 words in a line. When it is too long, you don't really need to be numbering them, but when it is too long like this, you need to find a way to break it down into 2 or 3. Now let me see how to break this one down. You say government has understood that the fate of agribusiness in Nigeria lies in the processing of agro items as far as profit, wealth creation and generation of employment opportunities is concerned. Well, one thing here is this: once you get to works that has too much of and, they write, then they put and, then they keep writing, then they put and, so that the thing becomes too long, you need to look for a way to cut it and bring up another sentence. Now see what I will do here. Say government has understood that the fate of agribusiness in Nigeria lies in the processing of agro items. Put a full stop here, then you find a way to bring in another sentence here. Now as far as profit, wealth creation and generation of employment opportunities is concerned, we can just put in another sentence there, like say this is needed, this is necessary. Let's say is necessary as far as profit, wealth creation and generation of employment opportunities is concerned. You see, at least this long sentence has been broken down into 2. Now you come over here. As of late, the Nigeria Export Promotion Council said that federal government will soon place a ban on the exportation of raw materials to different nations. This is this sentence is too long. Let's break it into two. Now you can just cut it here and make this to be a sentence on its own. You see, say federal government will soon place a ban on exportation of raw materials to different nations. Make this one to be the first sentence. Okay, so you need to be also putting Microsoft Access. Then you make this another sentence. Just check this, change this to this is as reported by the Nigerian Export Promotion Council lately. That is another sentence. So instead of putting a too long line of sentence, is as reported, make it to be brief, short sentences. Now there is therefore the need to begin processing a large quantity of raw materials accessible in Nigeria to Nigerians, both for local consumption and export. You can just put a full stop at where you have raw materials. Then you find a way to make begin another sentence from here. You can just say this should or would be accessible to Nigeria. Okay, this should or would be accessible in Nigeria to Nigerians. Move this both for makes the thing too long. For local consumption, or exports, so that the thing will not be too long. This should or would be accessible in Nigeria to Nigerians for local consumption or export. If you count the number of words here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's not too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's still not too much. So the idea is you don't make it to be too long. Then you come over here, say one of the agri products to begin processing in that is that which is produced locally and in large quantities, as well as it's too long. Just put a full stop here. Begin another sentence where we have as well as is promptly accessible in large markets. Just come here, just say this should it's just English. It just should be promptly accessible in large markets in the nation. That's it. Instead of making it to be too long, make it short sentences. To begin a profitable flat business, a great deal of inquiries and research should have been done before wandering into the business. Great deal of inquiries should be done. Should be done. Full stop. Research should also be done. All these have been done. Should be done before wandering into the business. Research, should also be done before wandering into the business. You see, I have taken time to edit it, and you see the way it is now. It makes a whole lot of sense. Now, if this thing becomes too clumsy in a place, you can just take it to the next, create another paragraph. It should not be too clumsy. should not be, clumsy together. In this wise, you have edited this place now. It makes a whole lot of sense to a reader. Now, at times, as you are editing it, you may see that there is need to bring in some subheadings. So where, as you're editing it, be reading it also. Where you see where to put in subheadings, you put in your own subheadings, but let it tally with the heading, as in the content of the material here. As you do, let's say 300 words. How do you know it is 300 words? Or so just check it out by highlighting it. They will show, as in this case, that showed 158. So this is okay. As you edit it, even if you don't really need to count the words, as you edit it, you see that that particular place makes some sense. You just put in a subheading there. Your own subheading, just craft a subheading and put there. Alright, so let's move on to another thing now. Now you see that in some of the works might have been numbered. Please don't put numbers in the work. Remove all these bullet points and numbers. Remove them. Even when you are doing something that needs numbering, all this numbering, don't put it. If you see numbering, remove all the numberings. If you see numbering, remove the numberings. You don't need those numbering. Let's just be the way it is. Don't number. Now, where you find these subheadings like this, bold them, but don't number, just bold them. Now you see that this place is too crowded. It's too crowded. Doesn't really make sense. We can just break this down into paragraphs. Break this down into paragraphs. It's okay this way. We can just make 2 paragraphs. What I mean is, don't make things to be too clumsy. Everything is jam-packed in one place. Once it's jam-packed like this, it makes it difficult for the reader to see. That is your work as an editor. You have to take a look at all these things I'm showing you. See where the sentences are too long, you break them into 2 or 3, make it into short sentences, 6 to 10 words per sentence. That's why you don't need to rush over it. Like this one that has numbers, remove them. Remove the numbers. Or where it is where it is necessary, you can leave it to be there, but don't necessarily number it. Just let it be. Okay. So your work is to look at it just as I've shown you, edit it, and then send it in. And these are the guidelines you need to follow. As you do it, you are saving it. These are the guidelines you need to follow so that you can be able to give us the best service that will make sense. Because anything short of this will not really make much sense to us. This is exactly what we want you to do. You skim through the work, you read it, where you have, you paragraph it, you reduce the length of sentences, you paragraph it where the paragraphs are too much, you reduce it. Then number 5, you introduce subheadings after just introduce subheadings where necessary, where you see that this particular content has something to do with this or can be captured by this subheading. Just introduce your own kind of subheading, and then that's all. Then you save it and then go through it again, review it again, see if there are some mistakes, you change them. That's why you don't need to rush. will give you an amount, the quantity of work which we know that you can do for a day, and then you send it in. You don't need to rush over it. Just need to follow the steps, follow the process, and then you are done. So I wish you guys the best of time. Have a great day, and happy editing.